Hello, I'm Mark Hammett, minister of the Weber Road Church of Christ in Corpus Christi, Texas. It's good to have you join me for this daily devotional and Bible reading. I hope it's encouraging to you, and I would ask that you turn to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Today's devotional is of a personal note. Hopefully it's encouraging to you. Our youngest son, our fourth child, Peyton, is a senior this year in high school. He loves basketball, absolutely loves it. And he played football his freshman year, sat out the next two. But with the pandemic, knowing that last spring, Texas schools disbanded their softball and baseball and track seasons, he knew that nothing is for certain. And because of that, he also likes football, but never wanted to play in case he got hurt, he couldn't play basketball and so forth. But again, knowing that nothing is for certain, he decided to play football again this year. I don't know how he'll do. I know he loves it. He likes being with his friends out on the field. He enjoys football. He enjoys the strategy. But again, the reason he is playing, main reason, is because nothing is for certain. They may, hopefully, this won't happen, but they may not end up playing football. They may not end up playing basketball, for all we know. And the pandemic really brought that out, really in everyone's mind. And isn't that really how life is? We don't know what tomorrow will bring. Now, because of that, my son decided to play football. And then play basketball, hopefully. And then run track in the spring. But again, not taking anything for granted. Knowing that those things may not happen. He's trying to enjoy what he can right now. And again, isn't that how life is? Although we like to think we're certain of what's coming tomorrow and the next day and the next day, nothing is for certain. And because of that, as Christians, we need to live our lives knowing that we need to do everything we can to enjoy this life God has blessed us with, and also to spread the love and the message of God to all those in our lives. And so my encouragement to you today is to remember nothing is for certain. Nothing in this life, I should say, is for certain. And so live your life in a way that's pleasing to God. Do everything you need to do to make sure God is pleased with the decisions you make, the ways you interact with people. If there is anyone in your life you need to seek forgiveness from, do it today. If there's anyone in your life that you need to make right, something that's been wrong, if at all possible, make that right or attempt to make that right today. If you are not right with God for any reason, make the changes that you need to make and devote your life to God once again. Let's go ahead and read from Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Again, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, a great chapter. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, starting in verse 1 from the English Standard Version. Remember also your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come and the years draw near, of which you will say, I have no pleasure in them. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars are darkened and the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men are bent, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those who look through the windows are dimmed, and the doors on the street are shut, when the sound of the grinding is low. And one rises up at the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of song are brought low. They are afraid also of what is high, and terrors are in the way. And the almond tree blossoms, and the grasshopper drags itself along. And desire fails, because man is going to his eternal home, and the mourners go about the streets. Before the silver cord is snapped, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher is shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. And the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher, all is vanity. And then he closes Ecclesiastes in chapter 12, verse 9, by saying, besides being wise, the preacher also taught the people knowledge, weighing and studying and arranging many proverbs with great care. The preacher sought to find words of delight, and uprightly he wrote words of truth. The words of the wise are like goads, and like nails firmly fixed are the collected sayings they are given by one shepherd. My son, beware of anything beyond these. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. And the end of the matter, all has been heard. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every deed into judgment with every secret thing, whether good or evil. Remember, don't take for granted that tomorrow will be here. Live today for the Lord and make things right between God and yourself and between you and others in your life. And live a life that's intended to be blessed by God. Hopefully these words have been encouraging to you. You can read Ecclesiastes chapter 12 anytime on your own, and it will give you great encouragement to do what's right and always be prepared for eternity. And may the Lord bless you richly as you seek to follow His will.